If you're recording vocals at home and you want them to sound like you recorded them in a multi-million-dollar studio, then I have 5 vocal mixing tips in under 5 minutes that will take your vocals from 0 to 100 fast. Tip number 1 is stacking compression. So here I have some vocals that sound like this.
I know that last night we let the liquor talk.
And I want to add some compression to really get this vocal to sit up better and get it to kind of punch a little bit. That's where stacking compression comes in. One compressor can only do so much, and I like to tame peaks with this first compressor. And then I will throw on a second compressor to really get some punch out of that vocal. I have the speed up so it's kind of going fast. I'll just crank up the gain and the ratio and really try to hit for like -7 to -8 dB. And for this compressor, I can set things at an aggressive setting, and so I do. And then I use the mix knob to actually blend in exactly how much of this compression I want. So it's essentially parallel compression, except we're not actually using a parallel bus. We're doing it right inside of a plugin. Most compressors have a mix knob built in, especially all DAW stock ones. You can use that. So let's turn on the first compressor.
I know that last night we let the liquor talk.
So I'm getting around -1-ish dB of gain reduction on this first compressor, kind of taming the peaks a little bit with an 8:1 ratio here. And now for the second compressor. And remember, I'm only blending in about 36% of this specific compressor.
I know that last night we let the liquor talk. I can't remember.
Hear how it really just kind of brings everything up and gets the vocals slapping just a bit harder? I really like that pumping effect, and then carefully blending that in with the mix knob can really add a ton of presence to a vocal. By the way, if you're enjoying the cover that I'm working on in this video, it's actually somebody I was just working with called Trad Baylor on TikTok. You can check out his awesome covers there. And now trick number 2 is adding layers. I think we can all agree that this sounds pretty good.
I know that last night we let the liquor talk.
But there's so much more that we could tap into by adding vocal layers. Let me show you what it sounds like with and without layers, and then I'll tell you exactly what I did.
I know that last night we let the liquor talk. I can't remember everything we said, but we said it all. You told me that you wish I was somebody you never met.
Massive, massive difference. So let me show you what those layers are and how you can replicate that yourself. The layers here are pretty simple. We have our main melody, which sounds like this.
I know that last night.
And then we have a duplicate melody down here. You can't just copy and paste this down. You have to sing the same part again. Those subtle nuances that we make as humans is really what creates that awesome sounding double effect. This one, I put it in the left ear, and then I have another one that I put in the right ear, and that's what these sound like.
I know that last night we let the liquor talk.
And then blend it in with the main vocal.
I know that last night we let the liquor talk.
Makes it sound a lot more wide, thick, and just punchy in the mix. Now there's one more layer that I added, and that is harmony layers, and I did the exact same thing with the doubles, but instead of having harmony up the middle, I only have the harmonies on the sides. Now I sang these ones, and I tune them really hard because I love hard tuning on harmonies, and because I can't sing very well. I know the last night we let the liquor talk. And now all together.
I know that last night we let the liquor talk.
Now tip number 3 is time aligning the tracks. My harmonies are a bit off, and if I want them to sound super professional, I will time align those tracks to the original vocal. There's multiple plugins that you can use to do this, like Vocal Line, but I'm gonna show you how you can do this manually inside of any DAW. So here are my harmony tracks, and in Studio One, I can actually just press Q to quantize, and it'll chop all of this up by transients, and it'll quantize it to the grid.
I know that last night we let the liquor talk.
Tighten those vocals up a ton. If I need to make some adjustments, I can right inside of the editor here itself. And almost every single DAW has a type of time stretching algorithm, or you can just manually chop and slip edit the vocal. Remember, it's a lot easier if you start with a better take here. Now, tip number 4 is a nerdy one. This is sidechain compressing the vocal effects. I learned this trick like maybe 6 years ago, and I've used it on every single mix I've done since then. It has saved me so much time and automation. It's unbelievable. So here we have the vocal effects bus, we have some delay, and we have some reverb going on right here. But then on the end part, we have a compressor, and that is being sidechained to the vocal bus. So every time the vocal kicks in, this compressor is triggered to turn the volume down on this bus. And then when the vocal stops singing, then the reverbs and delays get pushed up. This pushes the delays and reverbs out of the way of the vocal when the vocalist is singing. And then when they stop singing and there's a gap, it pushes the reverbs and delays back up. If you're enjoying this video, you're gonna love my ultimate guide to recording vocals at home. It's completely free. You can download that guide with the top link in the description. It goes into exact details of compressor settings, reverbs I like to use, how to record a vocal, because all of these mixing tricks are helpful. But if you don't know how to get a good sound at the source, then none of this is gonna help you. That guide will help you for free. It's my gift to you for watching this far in the video. Now, tip number 5 is hard tuning the vocal effects. Now, if you noticed, there is metatune going on at the beginning of this vocal chain, and I have these vocal effects hard tuned. The speed is at 0 milliseconds and the amount is at 100%. This just gets your reverbs to just shine through the mix.
I know that last night we let the liquor talk. I can't remember everything we said, but we said it all.
If you like this video, you're gonna love this video here where I show you how you can make any microphone sound expensive. So you can click on that video. I'll see you over there. And now, as always, go create.